Well, welcome back once more, all my YouTube browsers and subscribers, and thanks again for taking the time to tune in as we take a few minutes to have a look at another vintage off-road machine here in my continuing series of my world of classic dirt bike videos. Now this time round we're going to take a brief look at Andrew Breadon's lovely 1966 B44 BSA Victor. Now, although this bike is owned by Andrew, it was actually built by classic dirt bike building maestro Alan Arnott. Now, Alan, of course, is well known and respected around the UK as the man to go to if you need a classic race bike put together, and his workmanship and engineering skills are second to none, as you can no doubt make out from the quality of the parts used in this beautiful machine. Now, unfortunately, I'd like to tell you a lot more about the actual parts used in this featured bike, although despite my best efforts I've been unable to contact Alan, who of course was the bike builder, or indeed the bike's new owner, Andrew, to get more information on this superb bike. But nevertheless, we can still identify various parts despite not having first-hand knowledge from the bike's builder. Now, first up, of course, is this beautiful frame, which is a bit of a mystery to me, and it certainly looks like a BSA unit, although those twin down tubes at the front tend to make me think otherwise, and that it could possibly be a one-off special built by Alan. But nonetheless, it's still a beautifully engineered piece of chassis and looks stunning in this chrome-plated finish. Now, from the engine numbers we can surmise that it is almost definitely a 1966 BSA Victor Enduro bottom end with a PES, which of course is Performance Engineering Services barrel and top end. Now, the single cylinder motor had of course one inlet valve and one exhaust valve, with a 4-speed gearbox and the standard wet multi-plate clutch. Now, if my memory serves me correctly, these BSA B44 engines would have been supplied with an earlier AML monoblock carburetor, although many riders then changed these for these more efficient concentric units. Now, of course, BSA developed this motor in 1965 and named it the Victor, as it was a copy of the Scramble's motor used by the then legendary BSA racer Jeff Smith, who of course won the 1964 and 1965 World Championship on a similar machine. Now, of course, in 1968 the BSA Victor also became the company's top export model in that year. Now, these motors had a bore of 79mm and a stroke of 90mm, and the oil lubrication was of course by a dry sump with the oil housed in the top part of the frame, which normally equated to about 2.4 litres of engine oil, which was then consequently pumped around the motor. Now, initially the ignition was by coil and magneto, although there are now a few variants of electronic systems available for these BSA Victor engines. But of course these engines were very hardy and very powerful for a smaller single cylinder engine, but if looked after, these could be very formidable little race engines for your classic dirt bike. Of course, as mentioned, a dry sump on these engines, with the oil being filled through this stopper in the top of the frame tube. Now the front forks of course are unmistakably a pair of Italian Serianis, which are just about a standard fitment on many of these old British made dirt bikes, and are quite common as a suspension of choice if you're building a similar British classic racer. Of course, a 20-inch front wheel on Andrew's particular machine, with of course an 18-inch wheel on the rear. Now, I'm not entirely sure, but this rear hub looks to me suspiciously like it's a Gramica rear hub, but of course I wait to be corrected on that point if that's not the case. Now, when it comes to this beautiful fuel tank, I don't really have any information as to who made it, although as you can no doubt see for yourself, it is a very high quality piece of kit which looks stunning in this polished alloy with the Alan Arnott BSA graphics on the side. Now, of course, these fuel tanks would have held approximately over 6 litres of fuel when they were topped up, and as you can see on Andrew's particular bike, the tank has also been finished off with this very nice Monza style fuel cap. Now the seat, of course, as you can see, is another high quality item and looks very comfortable, and if you were a rider of this particular machine, you would probably be more than happy to sling your leg over this very plush fitting seat. Now, when it came to the rear suspension department, again Alan has opted to go for the very best once more that money can buy, and I'm almost sure that these are a pair of STX 36 Öhlins rear shocks. Now these of course are handmade specifically to suit your weight and can be tailor-made to suit any make or model of machine. Now once again, the quality items continue on this bike, and Alan has utilised top quality parts once again with these Magura levers and the Swedish made Gunnar gasser. Now all the other associated cables etc. are again top quality, as Alan is well known for using the best materials he can buy when building one of these beautiful vintage machines. And of course another item that was fitted was this electronic engine kill switch. Now the front and rear mudguards of course are more of the quality items fitted to this machine, and Alan almost certainly made the brackets for these mudguards. And of course Alan has opted to go for these wide, more modern type foot pegs on this particular bike. Now whichever way you look at it, this bike, the engineering and the quality of the manufacturing is of course second to none, and what owner would not be proud to have a machine like this in their own private collection. Now the new owner Andrew is very well pleased with the way his new bike has turned out, and without doubt it will surely add a bit of British made quality to Andrew's already vast collection of machines. Now these nicely shaped side panels on Andrew's bike were more than likely another engineering feat made by Alan. Now this kind of metal machining is just the bread and butter of Alan's bike building skills, and I must admit they look superb on Andrew's brand new bike, Well, I hope you have enjoyed this quick look around Andrew Breadon's immaculate 1966 BSA Victor, built of course by the legendary Alan Arnott. But look out for more similar machines to this BSA to be aired here on my YouTube channel in the coming weeks and months, with some very interesting machines already in the pipeline. So if you like what you see, please leave your comments below, or even better still, why not just subscribe to my channel. Okay, so we've looked and talked a bit about this very nice machine, so all that's left to do is to get Andrew to fire her up, and let's just have a listen to what she sounds like. This video was brought to you in association with WorldSport, the world's #1 supplier for all your off-road and leisure sportswear. Just visit their online website for more details.